Begin by removing the factory headlights. Remove the one 10mm screw holding in the snake eye lens and pull straight up on the entire piece. Save this screw. The headlight assembly is held in place with four 12mm bolts. This car has hood pins in one of the mounting locations. 2 are behind the headlight and 2 are under it. Use a ratchet and a wrench to remove them. This hardware will be reused. Disconnect the battery whenever doing electrical work. Unplug the gray and black wire harness. Remove the plastic wire tie to give the wires more slack. Remove the 3 10mm bolts securing the front bumper to the headlight bucket. The black bracket at the front of the headlight bucket prevents your new headlights from sitting flush with the bumper. Pull the bracket away from the bumper, allowing at least 1/4 inch of clearance between the two. Mark the new locations for the holes. You can use a drill or a rotary tool to remove the excess metal. Replace the 3 bolts and tighten. Cut or bend the small tab protruding into the required space. You can use a Dremel or metal shears. Disconnect the battery whenever doing electrical work. Cut the red and blue wire and the solid red wire on the gray connector. Strip the ends. Because we're changing from a dual filament bulb to separate high and low beams, we need to split the power. Separate the end of the red and blue wire in 2. Butt connectors are included to make the installation easier. Crush the wire into the connector with pliers or vice grips. Ideally, all connections should be shrink wrapped. When you're done, the wiring should look like this. Don't worry about the ring terminal for now, we'll get to that. Next, we're going to assemble the bracket system used to hold in the lights. These 4 bracket pieces bolt onto the main portion. Use the supplied 5/16 bolts and back them with a lock washer and a jam nut. Tighten them just enough so that the brackets won't move freely. Align the bolt with the middle of the slots to start. The fully assembled driver's side bracket should look like this. Put the assembly in the car and connect the harness to the headlights. Remember, the one with the ring terminal goes on the low beam. The bracket openings are slotted to allow for adjustments. Take your time and move the bracket around until you are content with the fitment. Use the factory hardware to loosely secure the light bracket to the car. Start with the back 2 top bolts and adjust the bottoms accordingly. The bottom bolt can be used to ground the low beam. Clean the contact area and use dielectric grease to ensure a good ground. Test the headlights. Next, we're going to permanently attach the lens and the fiberglass housing. This step may be done at any time throughout the installation process. Begin by cleaning the inside of the lens with a glass cleaner. Once you have painted the housing to your liking, lay the lens upside down on a clean cloth and insert the housing. Clear RTV silicone adhesive is included, but feel free to use a different product or color depending on your application. Black silicone will go better with a black housing. It helps to put a heavy item like a brick, or in this case a fire extinguisher, on the housing to ensure the 2 pieces are tight. Place a medium bead around the entire edge and let it dry. It will tack up within 2 hours, but should ideally dry overnight. Once the silicone is dry, Pop in the housing and lens assembly and check the fitment to make sure the headlights are aligned with the housing. Start with the outer edge and then tuck the lens into the slot at the front bumper. Every car is different and you may need to move the headlights considerably to get the housing and lens to fit well. Ideally, the housing and lens should fit without touching the headlights. Use the slots to move the headlights around until you're satisfied. If you're having trouble getting the assembly in, loosen or remove the top two bolts holding the headlight bracket to the car. Now you can pull back on the headlight bracket, making more space for the assembly to drop into place. When you like where the headlights are at, tighten the 4 bracket bolts and the 2 factory bolts on the bottom of the bucket. Now it's time to aim the headlights. Find a location that has a vertical wall and enough level ground for the length of the vehicle plus 25 feet. The wall will be used as an aiming screen. You'll need to make marks on the wall, so use tape. Start with the vehicle perpendicular to and right up against the wall. Make an X mark on the wall directly in front of each bulb. Every vehicle is different, but as a rough guide, the mark should be around 26 to 27 inches tall. You should have 4 X's like this. Now, move the vehicle straight back from the wall until the front of the car is 25 feet away. Measure downward 2.1 inches from each X mark and place a straight line. This will be the low beam aiming line. The Helen 90mm modules come pre-mounted to the bracket. Aiming is done by turning any one of the 3 mounting screws in or out using a flathead screwdriver or a 7mm socket. Turning the adjuster clockwise pushes the module further away from the bracket. Inversely, counterclockwise turns move the module closer. If the beam pattern is too high, it can be brought down by either turning the top adjuster clockwise or the bottom adjuster counterclockwise. Utilize all the adjustment points to get the lights at the proper height and angle. Aiming works best when you do each lamp individually. This can be done by covering the non-aiming lights with a clean rag. To align the low beams, position the lower left portion of the cutoff line directly on the horizontal line you marked on the wall. To aim the high beams, put the center of the beam pattern directly on the X. Once you've adjusted the lights, put the lens and housing back in and recheck the aim. Loosely attach the 3 remaining brackets. Use the button head screws with lock washers and jam nuts. Remove the 2 top bolts and insert the assembly. Rotate the small side bracket 90 degrees. Tighten the button head screws with an Allen wrench. Bolt in the assembly using the original hardware. Go for a test drive. I hope you are content with your new Latitude 42 headlight conversion. Thank you for your patronage, Latitude 42 Motorsports.